And what the heck? We'll start with this one. A shocking revelation concerning hundreds of millions of U.S. dollars. They're currently being carried out of our country in suitcases and then taken directly to Europe and the Middle East. I think right about now we're having a Samsonite moment. According to reports, federal agents are now investigating an intricate and sophisticated operation which collects cash from a number of Somali immigrant communities throughout the country, stuffs it into suitcases, and then ferries it through the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport before sending it overseas. So, the reports come from an organization called Just the News. They claim that in the past couple of years alone, TSA agents have discovered nearly $700 million in cash, leaving that airport on its way to international hubs like Amsterdam and Dubai, where they then lost track of where it was ultimately headed. And how hard can it be to track down all that dough? Officials say they're highly suspicious of the amount of cash that these Somali couriers are moving through Minneapolis because it's nearly 100 times more than what they're finding in airports serving much larger cities, places like New York, Atlanta, Seattle as well. Additionally, Homeland Security officials who are following the breadcrumbs back to their original source now say that one major trail has led them straight to Columbus, Ohio, where in the past couple of years, TSA agents have found more than $135 million in cash tucked away in the luggage of American citizens of Somali origin, and which just happens to be the second largest Somali community in the entire U.S. Officials say that contrary to popular belief, in every instance, the couriers always brazenly stayed above board and openly declared the amount of cash they were carrying on their legal documents because they knew no one would do a darn thing about it. They also claim that TSA agents tried for years to alert the former Biden administration about what was going on, but that their warnings always fell on deaf ears. But in defense of then-President Joe Biden, you'll recall Grandpa Joe saying, and I quote, "We finally beat Medicare." Editor Pranov, if you would.
We finally beat Medicare.
I always like that guy, Joe Biden. In the meantime, federal lawmakers are just now starting to catch wind of this latest scandal, with Homeland Security Committee Chairman Senator Rand Paul saying that the Somalis were so good at what they were doing, didn't even try to hide it. Also says that what we're learning right now, just the tip of the iceberg. Final thoughts, and this is the News Roundup Lowdown. The pieces of this puzzle, they're so easy to assemble that a 4-year-old child with a blindfold on could easily connect the dots, and with only limited effort. Hey, look, this is a phenomenal amount of money coming out of Ohio and Minneapolis en route to far-off overseas locations, way over there. And the movers and shakers behind these transportation projects, they're described as U.S. citizens of Somali descent. I'm just thinking out loud, and I wonder if that piques your curiosity. Now, this whole thing only sounds mildly suspicious to me because when I travel, I never carry more than a couple $100 in cash by American Express card and a big jar of these chewable Tums. Not complaining, I'm just saying that airport vittles, they're absolutely rock bottom. Funny thing is, while this was all happening during the Biden years, Grandpa Joe and his border czar partner in crime, Kamala Harris, didn't seem the least bit concerned. While tons and tons of dough was making its way into and out of Minnesota, it doesn't mean that Congress gal Ilhan Omar or Governor Tim Walz should be implicated in any wrongdoing, as both of those esteemed individuals are, by most accounts, honest, trustworthy, and at all times acting in the best interest of all those whom they represent. Hey, look, there's a thing in life called unexplained coincidence, that hundreds of millions of dollars tucked neatly into suitcases were moving through a state which is being investigated for a reported $9 billion in fraud should not raise any suspicions among anybody at any time.